Meanwhile, Spanish voters have been bracing their heat there in a potentially close run-up general election that could see Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's governing socialists lose power. The Prime Minister called for early elections after the left suffered a serious defeat in local elections in May. Opinion polls suggest the vote will hand victory to the Conservative Popular Party, but surprises could be in store. Polling stations open at 9 a.m. and will close at 8 p.m, with the results expected a few hours later.
Globally, the world's going more splitted between right wing and left wing, so that's happening all over the place, and here it's not different. So that's what's happening.
Have you ever thought of exploring the Kruger National Park on foot and having a close encounter with a big five? Well, if the answer is yes, you might want to consider going for a wilderness trail. That means that rather than driving around in an open game drive vehicle and staying in a luxury hotel, you will walk through the bush and stay in a primitive camp with no electricity, cut off from mobile networks. This package seems to be one of the favourites for adventurous tourists. Newzroom Afrika's Mweli Masilela visited one of the trails at the Kruger National Park's Berg camp.
Golden rule on foot for the newcomers: you stand your ground if we are charged by an animal, unless I give you a different instruction. Right. Listen to my instructions on the walk. If I tell you to do something, you do it as quick as you can, without question.
Trail Ranger Nicole Coetzee laid out the rules before taking tourists to a wilderness trail. This rule is very critical for survival when walking in the bush, where at any time one can come across dangerous animals, which include the big five. On this particular trail, elephants were the first sighting, followed by a herd of buffaloes. This seems to be exactly what excites tourists.
Well, it's a different experience completely to be out there walking in the field instead of driving around, and interacting with the rangers who are extremely knowledgeable and competent, and they tell you all sorts of interesting facts that you won't find out for yourself. And you'll have special experiences getting up close to animals, sitting down next to buffalo, elephants, close up to rhino on foot. I mean, that's just the most amazing thing to happen.
While on trail, tourists also get to learn about the men and women who lived in the park some many years ago. That story is reflected on the Bushman paintings found on some rocks in the Kruger National Park.
I'm coming from the Netherlands, from The Hague, and we came here a week ago to South Africa, and we just did the wilderness trail, Walhutter Trail. It was beautiful, and there were a lot of aspects of the trail I didn't expect, especially the cultural part, the history of the peoples that used to live here was beautiful to experience, both the nature side and the cultural history side. It's an amazing experience. I would recommend it to everyone that loves nature, just to walk on foot to Kruger Park instead of being in a car.
Even trail rangers themselves get amazed by the wonders of the bush as they keep learning about new experiences each day.
For me, it's been a fulfilling role to actually be able to have the opportunity and the pleasure to work here and to be able to explain how the environment works to our guests and to share the experiences and the knowledge that one has of the environment and how it works. And personally, there's something that I'm still journeying with and trying to get across, is that a lot of people believe that we are not part of the ecosystem, that the Kruger National Park belongs to the animals. I always pose the question that where are we supposed to live?
Well, as much as it was a great experience for many tourists, poaching remains a huge concern for the management of the world-renowned Kruger National Park. The criminal activity has led to a decline in the rhino population.
It was encouraging to see signs that we still have rhino around, especially the black rhino, which was very exciting to see that a week ago there was one which was marking its territory. And what was touching from the guides was that they say they missed the animals, the number of animals that they had here, because they engineer the environment actually and open up the grasses. But now there's a lot of encroachment that is happening because you're missing that species within the ecosystem. And that's the damage that poaching has done to this environment.